Good morning, folks, and welcome again to another episode of the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Jay Real, bringing you a Super Bowl edition to the show. That's right, the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos are going to clash heads this Sunday at the Super Bowl in New Jersey or supposedly New York City. Either way, it's going down, and all for the last couple of weeks, that's all it's been the big talk is this game. Now, we will break down a little bit about the game. We also have some other sports news to cover for this show, but one of the things we're going to talk about first is the whole situation with Peyton Manning and his legacy, or his best ever status, whatever you want to call it. This is the last time we're going to speak about it. I broke it down on last week's show on why we feel that he is not the best quarterback of all times. He's not even the best quarterback in this generation. So with that being said, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Now, what's going on is, I understand 5 MVPs. He's taken 2 different teams to the Super Bowl. That's legendary status. I understand all that. We do not hate Peyton Manning, or we do not discredit his greatness at all whatsoever. The problems that we have are facts. Today's game is quarterback heavy. It is receiver heavy. The numbers are inflated for both of those positions because of the lack of defense. The NFL has clipped the hanging down things of the defenses and just left them vulnerable for anyone that's a decent quarterback. As we explained, you have rookies throwing for over 4,000 yards. That is unheard of. So it just doesn't make any sense to give that extra credit to someone who's thrown those kind of yards in today's game. As we also explained, you take Dan Marino, John Elway, Joe Montana, put them in today's game, 5,000 yards would be easy for these guys. So with that being said, the game itself is on the line for Peyton Manning. I do feel that he needs to win this game. He needs to win it to get that second Super Bowl. And even upon doing so, he's still not the greatest quarterback of all time. It just doesn't hold any water to say 2 Super Bowls are more than 4 or 3 and so on, as we explained in last week's show. So with that being said, I had to be fair to Peyton Manning. When I really evaluated the situation, I looked back at who's my favorite running back of all time. Who do I think is the best running back of all time? And the first person that shot into my mind was Barry Sanders. And it kind of threw me for a loop because Barry Sanders has not one single title, not one single ring. So how could I consider him the best running back of all time if he doesn't have a Super Bowl? When you have, even in just the last 20 years, guys that have 3 rings or, possibly more. You got your Emmitt Smiths, you got your Davises, you got, these great running backs that have numerous titles, and Barry Sanders doesn't have a title. So then that really threw me for a loop, as I mentioned, because I had to be fair to Peyton Manning. So, with that being said, I had to go back and I had to reevaluate my facts, look at the whole situation, and just kind of give it a new perspective. And even upon doing so, I still could not honestly say Peyton Manning is the best quarterback of all time. So let me ask a question to all you out there in YouTube land. Just close your eyes and think for about 2 seconds. If you were given the option of starting a fantasy team, a team of the millennium, closing your eyes and just thinking about it, if they said, okay, you're going to start with one quarterback, going back 50 years, go ahead, who's your first quarterback? I would have just be amazed if any of you would throw Peyton Manning as the first option. The reason why I say that is because so many other quarterbacks, when it was clutch time, when it was time to produce, when it was time to see something shine and for them to go above their normal capabilities, Peyton Manning hasn't done it, folks, and that's a fact. He has a losing record in the playoffs. He has a tied 50-50 record in the Super Bowl. So when you look at that, just that alone, I have to think, when given the option of starting a fantasy millennium team, that you would have 2 to 3, possibly 4 other quarterbacks you would throw in that position before Peyton Manning. And again, we're not Peyton Manning haters, it's just facts. Peyton Manning has always been a good quarterback. He's always been, you know, the top of the class when it comes to QBs in his time. But to say he's the best, even in his own generation, is impossible to us. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and leave the Peyton Manning situation alone. We do not have a horse in this race, so we're just looking for a good game, and the best team should win. Hopefully we'll win. If Peyton Manning goes out there, as Jay Money says from Phoenix, if Peyton Manning goes out there and just drives his team down the field time after time and they just put the smack down on Seattle, hey, Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos deserve to win. If somehow Seattle can stop Peyton Manning from just doing whatever he wants to do, throwing for 400 yards, then hopefully Seattle could come out and win. It's going to be an interesting game. No one can really say for sure because no one can predict the future and what's going to happen. We're just excited that it's here and the time is here. Now, we're going to get off the NFL right now and kind of cross over and transition into some NBA. Why? Because Oklahoma City is playing amazing basketball. They got the MVP of the season, and I'm tired of hearing people saying LeBron James is the MVP this year. He is not. He has not played better than the OKC star has. There's no way Durant has not earned. The guy's been averaging over 30 points. He just had his first game under 30 points and who knows how long last night. So up until for months, this guy's been averaging 30 plus points. He's phenomenal. As a matter of fact, they just ended up playing each other. Miami just thought they were going to roll these guys, beating them around, pimp slapping them around, acting like they're the big guys on the block, and that OKC had no business being on their court, that it was Miami's home, Miami's NBA, they're the returning champs, they are the champs, they have no business, OKC, being on the same court. And what happens? As soon as halftime comes around, boom, here comes OKC and shows Miami who's the better team. Their bench is far superior than the Heat, and right now their superstars are playing better than the Heat superstars. Duncan is MVP this year, and I can already state that before even All-Star break. There's no way that, unless you're just a LeBron jock sniffer, you cannot honestly look at the NBA as of right now and say that he has been better and more important than than Durant in the OKC. We just feel that way. There's nothing else we can say about it. Facts are facts, and the stats don't lie. Everybody loves to go off stats. Look at the stats. Durant is the total better player this year so far. Now, also, we got to talk a little bit about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods last week, oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? 6 to 7 bogeys in a row, the highest score in the history of his being a professional golfer. Oh, I can't even explain this, folks, because you just got to look at it for what it is. If you're a natural-born singer, you have talent, you just do it, you sing with ease. Hitting those notes is like breathing to you. That's the way it is for an athlete. At least you would imagine. Just put it in perspective, folks. Tiger Woods was the best golfer for a decade. The guy was breaking records and looking forward to that ultimate record of having Masters under his belt. It's an amazing story. And then all of a sudden, the guy plays like he's a bum. The guy plays like he doesn't even know what's going on the court. Or on the course, excuse me. I can't even begin to understand what's going on with Tiger Woods. 7 bogeys in a row. The course he played last week, he's won it 4 to 5 times. He's ran that course. He's owned it. And then to go in there and do what he did last week is it's pitiful. I'm not trying to say he's still not an amazing golfer, but he's not the best golfer in the world anymore. And no matter what anyone wants to say, I don't care who you are. Michael Jordan never went into a game. LeBron James, Peyton Manning. These guys do not go into their craft, their profession, and stink up the joint the way Tiger Woods did last weekend. And it's bad. It's pitiful. He has, I don't know how many Masters he has to go to get the record, but he's not going to get it. I'd be surprised if he wins one more Master in his career, much less 5, 6, or 7, whatever he needs for the title or to get the record. It's not going to happen. 7 bogeys in a row. It's pitiful. So anyway, getting back to the Super Bowl and our wrap up, we're so excited. This Sunday, it's going down, and we got some serious matchups. You have the best defense going against the best offense. And here's where we're going to see what makes championships. Everyone says defense wins you championships. Well, Seattle, you better be on your game. Because if you allow Peyton Manning to do what he did to the just pathetic looking Patriots a couple weeks ago, you're going to get rolled. It won't even be a good game. It won't even be a close game. But if Seattle can put the brakes on Peyton Manning, slow him down, ruffle his feathers a little bit, for my God, the guy sits in the pocket, eats a sandwich, has a soda pop, and then throws down the field for 30 yards. Every play, watch it. Watch the guy work. He just sits back there in the pocket. I don't even think he got a fingernail touched on him in the Patriots game. Seattle has to get back there and disrupt him. Jam up those receivers at the line of scrimmage, knocking them off their routes, which then allows for the defense to get to Peyton Manning. The guy is a phenomenal quarterback. But folks, there is no way on God's green earth that in the dangerous sport of football that everyone says it is today, which I doubt. I don't think today's football is anywhere near dangerous than college football, than compared to 30 years ago when they would pick up quarterbacks and bomb them onto the freaking field. I don't know if you remember that. Go back about 30 years ago and watch some games. Quarterbacks were getting tossed into the freaking stands from the field if the defensive player wanted to. That was football. That is what we used to watch and what we miss watching. In today's football, you can have a broken neck 3 times and still go out there and they can say you're the best at your craft against the whole football league. That shows you what kind of football league we are in today. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. We hope you all enjoyed the show. Do not forget, this weekend is the pre-release for Born of the Gods. Hit up the Player Zone. Again, hook us up with all the cool stuff. Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, amazing comic books. I'm talking Golden Age, Silver Age comics. You just have to come hit them up. They're at 2117 Sudreth in Ruidoso, New Mexico. Or you can call them at 575-257-0559. Hit them up, the Player Zone. We got to thank Freestyle Jewelry and Freestyle Productions. Hook us up with the sick looking gold, but not the sick prices. And Freestyle Productions just signing up a new huge contract doing virtual real estate home videos. I mean, all these companies backing us up are blowing up. Thanks to you all out there. Can't forget about Seeping Springs RV Park and Campground and Gonzo Jersey Sales. The guy could hook you up with the flyest gear, hats, jerseys. Hit him up at 575-808-0892. Say, hey, hook me up with a Gonzo free, just a pimp jersey for $40 to $50, depending on what you're purchasing. Just an amazing guy, amazing products. So that's it, folks. We got to just say thank you for enjoying the show, or we hope you enjoyed the show. Let us know if you got any comments or feedback about Peyton Manning and the comparisons we've just made over the last couple of weeks. We want all feedback. We appreciate it. So for right now, J-Real's going to sign out. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Cross your fingers. Seattle makes it a good game. Peace. Much love, J-Real.
It's